Hello everyone, I'm welcome back to TechBlock. Today is part 1 of the PC build video. We have a whole load of stuff here. We're going to be going over the parts list and just everything we're going to be putting in this monster. And it's kind of a crazy PC build. I just thought of like a kind of random idea. I have two RTX 2060 graphics cards that NVIDIA have sent me, and I'm going to put both of them inside this new PC build. The reason for that, I don't know really. I have two of them, I may as well use both. So that's kind of the reasoning there. You can't use them in SLI, unfortunately. I wish you could, that would be awesome. I did see a video where a guy kind of made two RTX 2060s work kind of in SLI, using like some software, but I don't know if I'll be doing that. Maybe I'll try it out and see if it works. But yeah, two RTX 2060s this time, and we're going to be pairing those graphics cards with the mighty AMD Ryzen 7 2700X CPU that is currently inside my PC. Oh, the video finally rendered out! Oh my god, yes! I've been trying to render a video out on Adobe Premiere for so long now, and the software keeps crashing on me like midway through the render, so it finally finished it. Anyway, back to this PC build. The Ryzen 7 2700X CPU, right, this is going to be going out of that PC and into a new PC build, as I don't really have another CPU to replace this monster with, so this is kind of the best I have at the moment, and to be honest, very happy I'm still getting to use this CPU for another build. It's wonderful, and it's a nice CPU. I like it. It's good for productivity as well as gaming. Good value, good AMD. Can't wait for Ryzen 3000 to come out. Definitely going to be upgrading to that and doing another PC build in whatever AMD decides to call their next gen CPUs, the 3700X. Perhaps I'll build a PC with that CPU, but that's for another time. We have to wait for AMD to actually release those CPUs in the first place. And I think those will be coming out probably around summertime, so I'm going to be excited for those. Anyway, apart from that CPU, we're going to be pairing it with the this behemoth of a motherboard. We have the ROG Crosshair 7 Hero gaming motherboard for Ryzen. This is pretty much one of the best Ryzen motherboards you can buy for the X470 platform. This is like as high-end as you can go when it comes to motherboards for the X470 platform. This is like an overclocking board and everything. I will probably try to overclock the CPU, as I always have, probably to 4.2 gigahertz. That's what I'm going to be aiming for. If that doesn't work out very well, I'll probably drop it down to like 4.15. That's what I'm currently running it at now. But maybe we'll try to push it a little bit further if there's been any new BIOS updates or something that would allow us to overclock it a little bit more. Anyway, that's the CPU, that's the motherboard, that's the graphics card. We have some storage as well. The RGB SSD from HyperX. This is the Fury RGB 1TB SSD, or 960 gig, but close enough. It's got 3D NAND RGB. It's very pretty. It's got lovely lighting effects. It's just going to be real nice. And I have that SSD right here. I made a dedicated video about it like probably a month or two ago, going over all the lighting effects, the speed and stuff. It's a nice little drive here. It's like really good build quality as well. And I'm going to probably be sticking this drive somewhere in the case where it can actually be seen, as I'm not entirely sure if the case we're building in has like SSD mounts where like on the front of the case, I guess. Well, not on the front, but like in the internal area we can actually see all the components. I don't know if we can actually mount it anywhere, so I might have to do some DIY stuff and kind of stick it in place somewhere using like some double-sided tape. But that's the SSD. As for the other storage devices, we have the Samsung 860 EVO 0.5 TB SSD, as well as the XPG SX8200NP 240 gigabytes M.2 NVMe drive. This is probably going to be our boot drive, and then we're going to be pairing that with a WD Black NVMe M.2 SSD. It's only a 250 gigabyte drive, but both of these guys I think I'm going to be replacing in the next month or two. So this PC build series may last quite a while, or maybe it won't. Maybe I'll buy those new SSDs a lot sooner. But what I plan on upgrading both of these guys with is the ADATA XPG SX8200 Pro NVMe M.2 SSDs. They are very inexpensive. They're kind of like Samsung 970 Pro killers, I guess you could call them, because they're very inexpensive, and the performance on those drives, especially the 1 TB model, is mind-blowing. The read performance is 3500 megabytes per second, and the write performance is 3000 megabytes per second. For an NVMe drive that costs I think £160, which is more than £100 cheaper than Samsung's 970 Pro. So definitely going to be upgrading to both of those guys. Two 1 TB NVMe drives is what I plan on buying and kind of using as my primary storage for both my OS as well as all my YouTube videos. So that's kind of the plan there. And then as for RAM, we have the HyperX Predator RGB DDR4 RAM right here, running at 3200 megahertz. We have a total of 16 gigabytes per package, 32 gigabytes in total right here. So very, very nice RAM. It looks very cool. I wish the lighting effects were a little bit better, and that they synced up with ASUS Aura Sync a whole lot better, but it's still pretty nice RAM, and we're going to be using it once again, salvaging it from the current PC build and putting it in this brand new one. So that's the RAM there. We went over the two RTX 2060s right here. I can't believe I'm going to be putting both of them in here. I have like sleeved cables that I'm going to be using for them, so hopefully it's all going to look pretty cool, and just the PC will look a whole lot better, I guess. You know, having two graphics cards instead of one is always better, even though I'll probably only use one of the graphics cards, but hey, it'll still be good. We are going to be cooling our Ryzen 7 2700X CPU with the NZXT Kraken X52 liquid cooler. This might be getting replaced with perhaps something from Thermaltake, not entirely sure yet, but this is the current cooler that I have cooling my CPU. It's in my PC build back there, and I'm going to be salvaging it once again and putting it in this brand new one, because I don't have any other liquid coolers to replace this one with at the moment. As for the power supply we're going to be using in this build, Thermaltake went ahead and sent over their Tough Power I-Series power supply, iRGB plus 850 watt right here. It's a wonderful RGB power supply. It has a very nice RGB fan in there that I think can sync up to Razer Chroma and be controlled through an Amazon Echo via voice commands, thanks to Thermaltake's like ALEXA app, which is awesome. This also does have 80 plus platinum efficiency, which is very good, 10-year warranty, 100% Japanese capacitors, fully modular flat cables. That's always nice to see. The cables that came with this power supply are genuinely really good, like all pretty high quality, just nice flat black cables, no ketchup and mustard up in here. This is a good power supply, and most importantly, it has RGB, which is just so nice. Hopefully the case we're building in can actually see the RGB fan, and it's not just hidden away. That'll be a shame, but if it is hidden away, we'll probably switch to a different case shortly after, and then hopefully we'll be able to see this wonderful RGB fan in action at all times. But yeah, that's the power supply we're going to be using for this build. And then apart from all that, I guess, what case are we building in? Well, as you've already probably seen a while ago, I unboxed the GameMax Starlight RGB gaming PC case, which I shall now place on my desk once again. So it came in this gigantic box right here. This is the case. It says Starlight right there, very nice. Let's actually open it up and unbox it for like the second time now. So it has a tempered glass side panel, you know, all that good stuff. Ooh. It is currently upside down. Hopefully nothing breaks. Right, so here's the case we're building in. The GameMax Starlight. We have a power button on the front here, and what's, I guess, the most exciting part about this case is that it supports ASUS Aura Sync. It has one ASUS Aura Sync compatible fan in there, but I think I have a few more that GameMax sent me, so we're going to be popping those in there as well, and just having a whole load of ASUS Aura Sync compatible fans. So we can sync all those up, sync all the lighting effects up with both the fans and the front of this case, as if you can probably just see there on camera, there's this entire piece here on the front of the case that is pretty much like ARGB, so like addressable RGB all over this place, and we can make some like crazy wave effects and stuff. Like, we can really get creative with the effects on this case, so can't wait to set all that up and stuff. It's just going to be a good build. Loads of RGB, hopefully better performance. The graphics card I currently have in my PC is the RX Vega 64, so it'll be interesting to see how two RTX 2060s compare against that, or mainly like I guess one RTX 2060, but it's still be pretty interesting to see, I guess. And yeah, that's the case we're building in. Nice tempered glass side panel here. Hopefully everything will fit in here nicely and we won't have any problems and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of like all the parts for this. I think I covered everything. We will have more things on the way. I think from V1 Tech, I might be doing some custom stuff for this PC build with those guys. So that'll be cool, like some RGB backplates maybe. We'll see what we can do. So there might be some custom stuff coming in from V1 Tech. Apart from that, those NVMe SSDs that I talked about, the 2 1TB models that I want to buy from ADATA. And then I might also replace the all-in-one liquid cooler here, the NZXT Kraken X52, with like a different one, perhaps the ASUS one, or you know, some other brand. We'll see what happens, I guess. But hey, that's kind of all the PC parts we're going to be using today. And yeah, let's jump straight into the PC build. So we're going to be popping in the power supply in here first. Right, so without further ado, I guess, let's take off this tempered glass side panel. You know, I don't really think I have to, but I'm going to take it off anyway, just so, you know, in case I drop this case or something happens to it, this glass does not break. There we go. There's the tempered glass. Oh, let's take off this other side panel here as well. The controller that comes with this case as well, so you can control all the RGB lighting effects as well as the fan speed from a remote controller, which is pretty cool. So the 24-pin motherboard connector is kind of split into 2 pieces here. The bottom piece will go into this bit here. There we go. And then the top piece will go right here. You got CPU 4+4, CPU 4+4 again, and then GPU power as well. Peripheral SATA, that's all our SATA drives there. And then I'll plug the Molex one in as well. There we go. So that's all the cables, that's everything. Let's pop this into the PC. So unfortunately the fan is facing downwards in this case, and we can't see it at all. So I might have to swap this case pretty soon so we can actually review this power supply properly, I guess, and take a look at its RGB lighting effects better. Because right here, you know, it's just facing downwards. We will not be able to see the RGB effects whatsoever. I've got my iFixit kit over here. Screw this power supply in.